more. Let's see. One of the claims that's made about blockchain is that it's going to really solve a lot of the privacy problems, and probably the most direct, one of the biggest worries there are individual medical records. And could you walk me through how that might work? It seems to me that, you know, even if you authenticate yourself to a doctor and he pulls your medical record, they exist in plain text, unencrypted, on his computer. If his computer is hacked, it's kind of game over, and that your medical records will be for sale on the dark web in short order. And is there any blockchain-based solution to that fundamental problem of, you know, having your endpoint machine hacked, your cell phone hacked, at the point that the user actually pulls up the clear, direct data?
Right. Thank you for the question, sir. So in the example that I talk about in my testimony of the provider maintaining that record, the record itself is still relying on the security measures of the provider. So if the provider is not implementing defense in depth or some other cybersecurity strategies, and an attacker, instead of attacking the blockchain, attacks the data store of the provider, the record is still vulnerable. That would be the case today.
Yeah, but there's no potential blockchain-based solution to that problem. If the terminal that you're displaying the data on has been hacked, you're sunk.
Not in any of the blockchain examples that I've seen implemented to date.
Okay, yeah, so that's, let's see, this is a question, I guess, relating to NIST and all of the classified activity that we put a lot of taxpayer money into. Is there anything you can say about the level at which you communicate, say, the state of the art of quantum computing, which is very relevant? You're doing all this work making assumptions about where quantum computing will be. You know, not all of the work in quantum computing is visible to everyone. Do you communicate at the very highest classified level, or do you maintain a wall?
So in my laboratory, we don't do classified work on our campus. We're not involved in that at all. We do have people who have access to information that can help inform us about the threat environment, and therefore give us tools where we can prioritize the kind of work that we do to have maximum impact. In the area of quantum computing, I don't have any direct information that I have available to me in the classified setting for. I can't divulge anything because I don't know anything about the classified
so you literally,
area.
You know, you literally and your coworkers have no classified information. You can tell us everything you know, or is there a repository inside NIST of you know, secret stuff, state of the art of?
We have conversations with the folks in the intelligence community at classified levels periodically when there is threat information in the cybersecurity case, for example. If there's threat information that exists at the classified level that we may need to know to prioritize some of the work that we do, but the work that we do is entirely in the open and unclassified.
Yeah, well, it's a tough, you know, very tough thing to think through how we want to get this right. You know, I know that, you know, in my district at Fermilab, they're busy building qubits that will actually last more than a fraction of a millisecond, because we lead the world in high Q superconducting resonators, which is one of the promising strategies. But, you know, this could immediately have big national security implications, sort of instantaneously at the point that there's some breakthrough. And trying to understand, you know, how we handle that is tough. And okay, so I guess that was the main question, and I will yield back my time.
Thank you, Dr. Foster. Mr. Loudermilk.
Thank you for second round there, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Cuomo, in your written testimony, you discussed that we could thoughtfully insert blockchain in some appropriate projects already funded that would, I believe you said, help ensure that we stay on the forefront of this transformative technology. Can you elaborate on what some of those already funded projects may be, and also where they wouldn't be appropriate to use blockchain?
Well, yes. I mean, I mentioned in my testimony the small the SBIR, and that's basically the American seed funding, if that's kind of their tagline. And I think there are many agencies from NIST to NASA